Think about something. One gaming controller start to finish. The only one you'll need the entire duration of your life. The Fisher-Price Laugh and Learn, Game and Learn, powered by 3 genuine 3 Circles batteries. Don't let its humble beginnings fool you. Beginnings are just the start after all. We're bound to get bored. So what do we do next? You make it work with modern PC games. So essentially, this is a child's toy. This currently does not have any way of interfacing with the computer. It just makes sounds when you press the buttons. Also, the analog stick is not real. You can move it around, but it's actually just like a button in there, not an actual analog stick. I'm going to have to fit something like this into the actual controller. This can move around and the potentiometers read its position. That is gonna have to go underneath this blue thing to actually input into games. These 2 things on the top are also fake and don't actually do anything, but I'm less concerned about these ones. I don't know what we'd use them for anyway. The important thing right now is tearing all of the parts out of this controller that make it play sounds and instead get it to communicate with the computer. Okay, well, that's done, I guess. It would appear as if there was glue in here for some reason holding these wires down, which made it so that when I pulled it out, it pulled on this, broke this wire, so that's just not connected anymore. But it probably doesn't really matter. I want to take a look at how these buttons work. That is the most important thing to getting this working. And okay, that's simple. All of these pieces that just fell out press down onto these rubber dome switches, and underneath those are contacts that tell if the button is actually pressed. It looks like this controller was made in 2022. I kind of thought it was older than that, but I guess not. Let's take apart this fake analog stick so we can figure out how we can put our own in here instead. Wow, this thing has just exploded parts everywhere. It's too much. It kind of looks like if I unscrew this screw, it should let me take this off, and then we can figure out a different way of attaching it. Okay, so that's how that comes apart. Now the blue part off of the controller and my own analog joystick module. There's gonna be some work to connect these. We're going to need more space than this to mount all of the electronics we need to put in here inside this shell. So I'm thinking, maybe we just cut out this whole battery compartment and that should give us tons of room. This is working surprisingly well. Nice. With that gone, there's lots of space in there, and I'm hoping I can just put this battery cover right on the back and it should be completely covered still. Yes, that looks good. I've thought of 2 different ways we can make these little buttons on the circuit board control PC games. Number 1, we use an Arduino Micro. This little board right here can take input from something like a joystick like this or buttons and output that over its USB-C port. And it shows up to the computer just like a game controller. This board is also very small, so fitting it in with our other electronics shouldn't be that difficult. That all sounds great and everything, but I kind of want the controller to be wireless, so I'm going to make it a lot more complicated. Well, maybe easier, I don't know. We won't have to write any software. But what can you make a game controller out of? How about a game controller? Maybe this was the more obvious solution. We just take the guts out of this thing, put them in here, and we have a working game controller, right? I want to try it that way. Then we get wireless, battery powered. It would just be nicer. Plus, we don't have to write any software. Well, this ended up being quite the process. After I extracted the battery compartment from the old controller, I tried to fit all the circuits into the shell of the Fisher-Price controller, and they did not fit. So I cut a piece off the circuit board, realized it no longer worked, and then used wires to reconnect whatever traces I had broken. And then I kind of just repeated this, realized everything was too big, break some more parts off, run some wires, until I was eventually cutting major parts off of the main circuit board of the controller. But eventually, All of the buttons on the PCB that fit the Fisher-Price controller are now wired up to our other game controller. And it actually works. If I press button 1 on the Fisher-Price board, it actually shows up on the computer. All that should be left to do is to fit all of this into the shell of the Fisher-Price controller, and then we play games. In theory, let's see how complicated that is. Okay, joystick, here. Seems simple enough. I've 3D printed this little bracket, which hopefully will hold this in place and not let it move. Usually when this comes out, everything starts going wrong, so let's see if I can manage to not screw this up. We want this to stay here. That seems adequately secured. Now I need to secure this circuit board without breaking any of these tiny little wires off of it. It looks kind of cool with that actual joystick there. It probably would also work a lot better. I don't know, I think we gotta get that one on there though. Now I'm thinking I just stick the batteries up in this spot. Right there. Yeah, that seems fine. Everything is inside. Now we just put this on. Oh, that doesn't fit. Okay. So this is the finished controller and its extra parts. I made this yellow switch into the power switch. The joystick works, all of the face buttons work, and I think it's ready to actually play some games. Let's try this out. Obviously, the square A button is for clutch. So we'll shift into first using the 2 or up arrow. And there we go, we got throttle. And we're driving. Other than the lack of triggers and the slightly weird layout I'm using, this is just kind of working. I mean, it's a game controller. I'm playing the game. It's totally fine, honestly. I want to play something a little bit more technical. Super Smash Bros. Purists with their GameCube controllers will never see this one coming. Let's see if I can beat a level 6 CPU. I'm realizing I'm missing all of the controls from the right joystick, which are kind of super important for this game. It's okay though, we're gonna win without them. Well, that's not a good start. Please blow that up. Go back over there. I also don't have the grab button, but we're not gonna worry about that one either. Yes. Okay, too easy. We gotta turn up the CPU difficulty. Let's go straight up to just level 9. I'm sure this will go well. No. No! Yes! I thought I was off the platform there. We're okay. We're getting hit, but we're okay. Sometimes the joystick also gets stuck in the last direction you point it, and that is kind of messing me up a little bit. Yes. Okay, that landed. No, I didn't have time to craft. Okay. No, I'm out of materials. I definitely don't have it. Okay, this is my comeback. No, land these. Land these. Please land something. Stop using the same move. I'm not good at defending that. Go down. Go down. No. Yes, that actually landed. Okay, we're not very even, but I got a kill. This is actually pretty close. I really need to actually hit a few things. Nope, no. Oh, it's so close. Yes, that actually hit. I need one more good hit and I've got this. I need one more good hit and I've got this. Yes! Oh, I actually beat it. Level 9 CPU with this. Oh, okay, the joystick cap fell off. You know what? I don't even care. We won. That is the Fisher-Price gaming controller playing modern games. A good gaming controller, this is not. The buttons do feel really terrible to press. If you were given this when you were 2 years old, you might want to upgrade by the time you're playing Super Smash Bros. But I did beat a level 9 CPU using this controller, which means it can't be all that bad, right? And that is the Fisher-Price Laugh and Learn Game and Learn controller. Thank you for watching. I'll have a new video next week. Get subscribed for that. I'll see you next time.